Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are jumping straight into the world of Pluribus, and we're going to be looking at Manousos Oviedo.
Yeah, who is arguably the show's most, uncompromising character.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's that isolated survivalist, the one holed up in a self-storage facility down in Asuncion, Paraguay.
And Manousos he's the pure distillation of defiant individualism. He is one of the very few who resisted the initial joining. That's the event that created the others, this peaceful, assimilated hive mind. He sees any assimilation, even the benevolent kind, as a total psychic contamination.
So the deep dive mission for you, the listener, it really hinges on one single massive decision.
Right.
After years of this ideological purity, isolation, and starving for the principles, what finally made him leave?
What gets him to abandon that secure bunker and travel all the way to New Mexico to find Carol Sturka?
Exactly. Analysts are calling this the most critical pivot point in the entire series.
And to understand that pivot, you first have to grasp just how extreme his resistance was. He refused everything from the Hive.
Because any kind of dependency was a contamination?
It was psychic contamination, in his view.
So how do you even survive like that? The sources are pretty stark. He was rationing, coffee creamer packets?
Yeah, coffee creamer, and then eventually canned dog food that he'd scavenged.
But the detail that just gets me.
The note.
The note. Before he breaks into a customer's storage unit for that dog food, he sits down and writes an apology.
It's this incredible moral contradiction. He's preserving the moral framework of the world that was. He's defending the political freedom of the self against what the show calls institutional calm.
So he's not just sitting there, passively resisting. He was actually working.
Oh, absolutely. His isolation wasn't paranoia. It was research. Rigorous, meticulous research with his ham radio setup.
Which makes him, as one source put it, the last truly independent radio telescope left on Earth.
Yes. And his work wasn't just about survival. It was about figuring out the joining itself. He's investigating who sent the RNA signal from deep space and why. He's looking for a way to reverse it.
And the key, which is so brilliant, is his choice of equipment.
So important.
It's all low-tech. It's analog.
Exactly. And that's a deliberate choice. He knows non-integrated systems are his only real defense because the Hive's whole operation is digitally optimized. It can't easily monitor him.
So his analog data basically holds the entire key to a potential counteraction.
And the Hive knows he's a problem. They eventually tried to break him psychologically.
Right, they accessed his memories.
And spoke to him using his deceased mother's voice. A familiar, comforting voice.
That classic psychological tactic. So why did it fail so spectacularly? What did they get so wrong about him?
Because the Hive, for all its power, it's like an advanced computing system. It made a computational mistake.
I love that.
It accessed the memory files, but it didn't account for the emotional data. And the truth is, he harbored deep resentment for her long before the joining.
So the algorithm failed. The LLM, trying a common tactic, just couldn't process that nuance.
Individuality right there is defined by owning your own messy, unresolved history.
So what's the final push?
Yeah.
What actually gets him out of that bunker? It wasn't the Hive.
No, it was Carol Sturka.
Her public resistance. That angry little video.
That's the catalyst. Their convergence represents humanity's most comprehensive resistance. Carol brings the emotional drive, and Manousos brings the objective scientific data.
Okay, but hang on. How can someone that extreme, that much of an ideologue, possibly align with Carol Sturka? Their end goals seem totally incompatible.
They are.
She wants to unjoin everyone, restore the past.
Yeah.
He might just want to nuke everybody to preserve the few who are truly unjoined. He could even try to weaponize the Hive's own signal.
And that's the entire gamble the show is taking. The contents of his radio logs are the single most valuable asset in this entire world.
Their partnership is going to test the show's entire philosophical grounding.
It really is.
So here's a final thought for you to consider. Their partnership unites the emotional and the scientific drives against the joined. But if they fail to reconcile their worldviews, his rigidity versus her impulsivity, does that prove that the inherent divisions of our own individuality are ultimately what doom humanity?